My life has always been pretty cheerful. This was made possible by my friends, family, a bright future at my university, and nothing bad happening in my life so far. Everyone I know has nice thoughts of me as I have from them. All my teachers and I get along well, and despite having no other known relatives than my parents, I didn't really care much. I always thought of my friends as brothers. I had, however, something I hid for years. I, like many other people I know, am a 90s kid. I'm pretty sure even adults like those years too. Video games, simplicity, and good TV cartoons. Yes, good TV cartoons. So the not-so-wish dream of becoming a cartoon tester got to me when I was just 6 years old. My parents accepted delightedly when I told them I wanted to be one. After all, it was the perfect job for someone my age. So when people came to the house to ask my parents, I wanted to be it so badly. Nothing went actually wrong, so one afternoon they took me to Nickelodeon HQ. I was so excited to see everything they were going to make before anybody watched it in the first place. My friends would be so jealous. So I stood there in a room with a big TV and a DVD player, the first time I actually saw one, and like 5 other kids that were like me, expecting to watch cartoons all day. The room felt somewhat like a living room, probably to make us feel much more comfortable. It had a carpet, chairs, a table, potted plants, and a nice warm red paint on the walls. A staff member came out of nowhere with a CD smiling at us. "We're going to make a new series on Nick Jr.," he said. "If you like it, then we'll send the first season to your parents in no time," he said with a cheery tone. All the kids and me started celebrating as the man inserted the CD inside the DVD player. "I'll be back in a while," he said with a bright smile as he left the room. The TV went on a static screen, which was odd since it was the newest they had selling that year. It went static for a while and it started to show a warm fireplace burning. The camera then showed the whole room. No music was heard at all, nor did it introduce anything. The camera showed a chair faced at a window, showing stars in a night sky. The room looked warm and soft. A bald head was on the chair. It slowly turned, showing big creepy eyes and a surprisingly realistic mouth. Me and all the kids were surprised about him and his appearance and waited to see what happened. A robotic, emotionless voice stroked on the silence as the man said, "Oh, I didn't see you there." The camera turned around, showing a crudely made CGI body that happened to be the man's. He greeted us and said, "Hello, I'm Gregory, and this is my room." The camera zoomed on his creepy face. "We're going to have so much fun together, just the 2 of us." He pointed at the window. "We can look at the stars together." He held a book. "We can read a book together." The camera went to the perspective of the fireplace as Gregory said, "We can stare into the glorious flames of the fireplace together." The silence crushed instantly, as all the kids looked in confusion and looked at each other. We waited for a while as Gregory's face stared from the chair into the fire. His face suddenly appeared again and the camera slowly zoomed in. But no matter what we do, it will just be the 2 of us and no one else in this room. Just me and you. No parents, no police. No one can hear you. Distorted background music started playing as his face got closer and closer. Not only that, but his voice and the background itself started to get weird as transparent flames took over the place. "Embrace me. I need love. Gregory needs love." The movie ended with his paralyzed face all over the screen. Every kid started crying uncontrollably as the man from some minutes ago came in. He had a very angry look on his face as his words pierced through my memory. "You! I thought that guy learned his lesson long ago, but..." He yelled furiously as he got out of the door along with the other kids. The screen went blank as I secretly took the CD. It had a clean, simple, and plain text saying, "Gregory's room." After a few days, there were some news about parents suing Nickelodeon for inappropriate content shown. They even got as far as labeling the incident as a show that was ultimately rejected due to a poor focus group result. My parents were so frightened that they didn't let me get near the place. We lived relatively near Nick HQ. Until then, I kept the CD with me, hoping to understand one day, The meaning of such a dreadful creation. $36,400,000. That is the expected number of intelligent civilizations in our galaxy, according to Drake's famous equation. For the last 78 years, we've had been broadcasting everything about us. Our radio, our television, our history, our greatest discoveries to the rest of the galaxy. We had been shouting our existence at the top of our lungs to the rest of the universe, wondering if we were alone. 36 million civilizations, yet in almost a century of listening, we hadn't heard a thing. We were alone. That was until about 5 minutes ago. The transmission came on every transcendental multiple of hydrogen's frequency that we were listening to. Transcendental harmonics, things like hydrogen's frequency times pi, don't appear in nature, so I knew it had to be artificial. The signal pulsed on and off very quickly with incredibly uniform amplitudes. My initial reaction was that this was some sort of binary transmission. I measured 1,679 pulses in 1 minute that the transmission was active. After that, the silence resumed. The numbers didn't make any sense at first. They just seemed to be random jumbles of noise. But the pulses were so perfectly uniform and on a frequency that was always so silent, they had to come from an artificial source. I looked over the transmission again and my heart skipped a beat. 1,679. That was the exact length of the Arecibo message sent out 40 years ago. I excitedly started arranging the bits in the original 73x23 rectangle. I didn't get more than halfway through before my hopes were confirmed. This was the exact same message, the numbers in binary from 1 to 10, the atomic numbers of the elements that make up life, the formulas for our DNA nucleotides. Someone had been listening to us and wanted us to know they were there. Then it came to me. The original message was transmitted only 40 years ago. This means that life must be at most 20 light years away. A civilization within talking distance? This would revolutionize every field I have ever worked in. Astrophysics, astrobiology, The signal is beeping again. This time it is slow, deliberate, even. It lasts just under 5 minutes, with a new bit coming in once per second. Though the computers are, of course, recording it. I start writing them down. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. I knew immediately this wasn't the same message as before. My mind races through the possibilities of what this could be. The transmission ends, having transmitted 248 bits. Surely this is too small for a meaningful message. What great message to another civilization can you possibly send with only 248 bits of information? On a computer, the only files that small would be limited to text. Was it possible? Were they really sending a message to us in our own language? Come to think of it, it's not that out of the question. We had been transmitting pretty much every language on Earth for the last 70 years. I began to decipher with the first encoding scheme I could think of, ASCII. 01010100, that's B. 01100101E. As I finish piecing together the message, my stomach sinks like an anchor. The words before me answer everything. Be quiet, or they will hear you. There is a website that offers its users the choice to experience the ultimate horror. This website, called blindmaiden.com, is supposedly a site dedicated to a doomed spirit that will enter the home of people who have viewed it. However, no matter how hard you try, your browser won't allow you to enter the site. You see, to access this site, you must wait until 12 a.m., making sure that the night in question is a new moon night. You must be on your own in your home with all the lights turned off. Only when these conditions are met, you will be granted access to the site. As soon as you enter, you will see a montage of pictures being displayed quickly. These images are of boys and girls without eyes and faces that are twisted in tremendous fear. After that, text will appear on the monitor saying, This website will take you to a whole new level of horror, a horror that will use all 5 of your senses. You must be very careful not to click on anything by accident. You will be faced with a real experience of absolute horror. Click the accept button to engage actively in this experience. Accept, decline. If you click decline, you will be rewarded with access to the entire archive of those gruesome images, a gore site pretty much. Click accept, however, and there will be no turning back. You have sealed your fate, and trust me, you will experience the ultimate horror. Upon accepting, you will see a sinister silhouette walking towards your home on your monitor. The spirit will then approach and enter the same room as you are in. You will then see your own back on the monitor and you will feel a presence behind you. Suddenly, you will feel somebody tapping on your shoulder, and as you turn around, you will see the blind maiden's face and scream in terror, and that will be the last thing you do, as she will then kill you. The blind maiden will then pluck your eyes out and take a photo of your face. Congratulations, you have successfully completed the ritual, and as a reward, that photo will forever be a part of the website's picture gallery, just like all the other photos of people who were stupid or curious enough to press the accept button. And yes, if you're a thrill seeker, then you will love the last moments of your life. There was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day of hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around, he was surprised to see the walls adorned by many portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable. Making a concerted effort to ignore the many hateful faces, he turned to face the wall, and exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep. Face down in an unfamiliar bed, he turned blinking in unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows.